So you're just getting started in the gym and you want to stay consistent and stop quitting like you've quit in the past. In this video, I want to share some of my best techniques that I've learned to pick up a habit and stay consistent with it over time. In this video, I'm going to talk about the habit of consistently going to the gym and sticking to your routine and not quitting it. So I'm going to share some of the tips that I've learned to help me stay consistent and not quit my routine. Okay, so starting out, the first biggest mistake that people make is getting into the habit of saying, I'll start tomorrow. If you find yourself doing this, what I tell myself is, if I can't do it today, I'm not going to do it tomorrow. So if you do that often, if you always tell yourself something along the lines of, okay, I don't want to do this today, but I'm just going to start tomorrow and I'm going to hit it hard. I'm going to be super consistent, super restrictive with my diet, super intense workouts or whatever. Like just go super crazy tomorrow, but not start today. Then try telling yourself, if you can't do it today, you won't do it tomorrow. And honestly, that's the truth, because if you can't make yourself do it in the moment, what makes you think you're going to be able to make yourself do it tomorrow? So I tell myself that, and honestly, it just helps a lot to just get myself up and be like, okay, that's true. If I don't start this thing today that I want to do, nothing is going to change tomorrow, and I'm probably not going to start it tomorrow either. And if you keep saying, I'll start tomorrow, you'll find that tomorrow really never comes and you really never end up starting whatever it is that you want to start. Okay, so use that trick to help yourself just kind of get out of the habit of saying, I'll start tomorrow, and actually start something today. Okay, so the next tip that I have for this video, this is a really good tip that helps me start basically any habit and stay consistent with it since I started. As long as I want to stay consistent with something, this helps me pick up the habit, be consistent with it, and not quit. The way that this works is I find that one of the reasons that people quit is because, like I was saying, they plan to hit something hard, do it every day, and then as soon as they don't do a day, like they miss a day of workouts or they eat dirty for a day, like don't eat clean for a day or whatever, don't follow their diet. As soon as that happens, whether it's a day, a couple days, a week, or whatever, they're like, okay, I messed up this routine. I got to just stop and start fresh again. But really, that's not true, because when it comes to consistency, like in the long run, there are going to be days when you mess things up. Like you're going to not work out for a couple days or like for a week or whatever. Like I've been lifting weights for 4 years consistently, and the number of weeks that I've missed within those 4 years, like there were a lot, but I still stayed consistent and like picked up my workouts even after messing up. So to avoid that, like wanting to quit after messing up, like trying to start something every day and then as soon as you mess up, just wanting to quit, what I do is I will start something. If I'm trying to start a habit, I'll just start with the goal of trying to do that just once a week, like trying to do the habit once a week, whether it's like a workout, meditating, whatever. If you want to like build a habit consistently, then just set the goal of trying to do it once a week. So to get started in the gym, just try to work out once a week. And it won't be super hard to find some time and get motivated to work out just once a week. Like just start with the goal of working out once a week. Once you get consistent with your workouts once a week, then you can set the goal to work out 2 or 3 times a week. Then when you're shooting for 2 or 3 times a week, if there comes a week when you only work out like once that week, even though you were shooting for 3 times that week, you are still as consistent as when you started. So you can't, even though you didn't hit like your new goal, you can't consider it as having messed up because you're still consistent as when you started. Okay, so just keep doing that. Start with once a week, then increase it to 2 or 3 times a week. Then once you get good with that, try for maybe 4 or 5 times a week to work out. Then when your goal is 4 or 5 times a week, even if there's a week when you only work out like 1 or 2 times, or even if you miss a whole week, you're still basically as consistent as when you started, and you have maintained that consistency for that amount of time. I find that this strategy just really, really helps with wanting to quit after messing up a little bit, because you kind of maintain the same consistency as when you started, and that just really helps like build a good mindset of, okay, I'm doing this for the long run. Like small consistency over a long period of time is really the goal. in the long span of your life, if you miss a week of workouts, even if you miss like a whole month of workouts, you're still going to be able to get back into it and be consistent again. So you shouldn't consider quitting after just missing like a little bit of time. So I could come on here and tell you like the basic things to stay consistent in your routine, like, oh, try to pick fun workouts, whatever. But these are kind of some unconventional things that I've learned that really help me stay consistent in the gym and just with any habit that I'm trying to build. So if you apply these tips to your workouts and just give it a shot, I really hope that it works for you. And please let me know if it does. And if you found this video helpful and if these tips helped you be consistent in the gym or helped you just start a new habit that you've been wanting to do but have been either putting off or just starting and quitting over and over again. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed the video and I hope that you found these tips helpful. I'll see you next time. Bye!